Good evening and welcome to the October 16th meeting of the Board of Selectmen. If you'd all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And again, good evening and welcome for those that have joined us here tonight or joined us via TV. A couple of announcements. Absentee ballots are now available for the November 6th election. You can actually come into the town office here during normal operating hours and cast your absentee vote. And you can do that until 5 p.m. on November 1st. That is the deadline. So again, just a reminder, if you want to vote early, you can do that through November 1st at 5 p.m. and you can do that here at the town office by absentee ballot.
And we do have on the website sample ballots too.
Okay. So if you want to look what those ballots are, you can go to the website. The sample ballots there. Any other announcements, folks? Other than Ossipee Lake is still down. We'll talk about the gates and whatnot. I think we actually this week hit the winter level of the 5-year winter level of 3 feet. Might be an inch below that or something of that nature. So. But we'll have some discussion on the Ossipee Dam cost and where we're headed with that when we get into new business. We have no appointments this evening. Hearing a delegation. James.
Vice Chair of the Charter Commission, and we would like to have you publish the summary revisions in the Smart Shopper a couple of weeks before the election.
Okay.
They're on the back of the ballot. It's kind of late by the time they get the ballot. I don't think anybody's going to stand there and read it.
So you want them verbatim from what's on the
summary.
On the summary.
Now, is that also listed on the website?
Yes.
It is.
Yep.
Do you want to do anything with the Charter Commission's position on these, or?
No, just list some. I think it's self-explanatory that we would be for them if we were putting them out.
Yeah, I guess so.
You made some recommendations, but you don't believe them, right? Do we have? There was a budget for the Charter Commission.
Yeah.
I think they just cover it.
Yeah,
it's
Your
$100.
ordinary expenses.
So is there any reason that we wouldn't do that? I don't think.
We can do it under the Charter Commission.
All right.
Thank you.
Anything else, Jim?
Nope, that's it.
Thank you. Correspondence, again, some of the typical weekly correspondence, Treasurer's weekly financial reports, Representative Libby's newsletter. Something new that we've added from Jerry, the assessing agent, is the sales for the month that come in on real estate sales. Note from the 12-town group meeting on last night's meeting. And then a note from RSU 57 relative to Race to the Top documents. We are foregoing any further reports tonight because we are conducting our quarterly budget review. I do not see the road commissioner in the room. What I intended to do is to put the quarterly review after we get through some of these other discussions. And I would still prefer to do that, but we can move item 1 and item. I guess what I'd do is if we can get Jerry, we'd move item 4 up, so we can handle that, and then we'll go into everything else. I know everybody's anxious to get out and watch the presidential debate, which will be just absolutely entertaining this evening. Where's Wayne taking it? Oh. So he'll be bursting through the door any minute. And then we'll go into the quarterly reviews, and I know there's a bunch of department heads here tonight. We'll go department by department. What we're really looking for, because we're only 3 months into the year, what are your risks and or opportunities? Where do we stand if you're over 25% spent? What is the projection that you're gonna, is it just a timing issue where insurances are up front, or leases are up front, or those things? So I don't think we'll spend a lot of detailed information time poking around individual accounts, but anything that has you concerned as we go into the next 9 months, we'd like to at least highlight. And Diane, I don't know if anybody else in the finance committee come?
Neither one would notify me that they weren't coming.
So we'll,
I'm sorry, ma'am.
oh, there you go. Giving me the COAs. Come on, Jerry. Anybody got any good jokes, or? No? Well, you know, if we start a discussion on one of the budget items, he'll come through the door.
There he
so-
is.
Good evening, Jerry.
Good evening.
Step right up.
Yes.
We're gonna take you first here.
Oh, you're taking me out of order,
Out
thank
of,
you.
out of con, yeah, out of order.
All righty. You have 2 abatements tonight? You have three abatements tonight? Start out with 08A. That's a correction on the Danny abatement that was before you a few weeks ago. And this is the property on Blueberry Road that needed to be corrected. We have given an abatement so far of $770.56. But because we had the wrong numbers on the abatement, we need to abate $360.96.
In addition, or what?
No, so the
In
total
addition-
is 770, right? Previously abated was 360.96, and the additional abatement.
Yes, I'm
was
sorry, you're right. The 770 is the
It's your
total.
report, I'm just reading it. so.
Yeah, no, thank you. The additional abatement is actually $409.60. So number 1308A has got an abatement request of $409.
So 08 is just attached for our reference,
Yes,
and then we jump to 20.
number 20 is a personal property account. They had reported 3 accounts to us, and we taxed them for it, finding out that they meant to send one to Waterboro instead of Waterboro.
Okay.
And so that is a correction, and that abatement is $37.12 for personal property.
Yeah, and then the last one.
Last but not least is Regilio, Deborah. This is the case of, as you read it, it can be a little confusing. There were the conveyance of possessory rights, which in Maine, I guess, can be taxed. The only thing that I think fouled us up is the fact that the possession ceases once the person who has received title notifies the owner, the owner that gave them title. That was done, and they don't have to file anything or report anything, so we didn't get a deed. So what we have here is the case of granting an abatement to make all of the parcel a single instead of 2 lots, because it was divided by us, making it 2 lots. And the owner has requested that due to this error, because the transfer of ownership because of this possessory deed and its requirement to cease the assessing to the owner that received it.
So the
3 years.
possessory deed, we reacted to the possessory deed and divided the lot,
Correct.
and it shouldn't have been?
Well, we gave it to our normal map people, which is Sebago Technics, and they seem to think that it was a division of the lot that was required by that kind of deed. I'll be honest with you, I don't remember getting one of those deeds stated in such a manner. So it was assumed that it was and as far as that goes, they do have possession of the property for a certain time. It's almost like a life estate, except it's worded differently. And that's why I did attach the deed, I believe.
Yeah.
All right, draw me a picture here.
Pardon?
Draw me a picture. Putman conveyed it to who?
No, Virgilio conveyed it to Putnam.
Okay, then what happened?
And they were to occupy the property for as long as they had the title, and at any such time, they can pick up and leave. And once they have left the property for 6 consecutive months, it's over.
It goes back to
Yeah.
Virgilio.
Correct.
So,
That didn't,
so what changes the value of the property or the size of the property?
I think is what we did, Dave, is we created a separate lot.
Okay, so you made 2.
And that separate lot has what we call that vacant lot value, the house lot. And then they have their own property with their house as well. So what we created is a vacant house lot with a value that it should have been all merged back together again. That's the picture.
So, but I guess my concern is if we don't know that the possessory deed is done, how do we know that, isn't that the responsibility of the landowner to say, hey, I had this possessory deed which actually changed the taxes to that party that had possession of that land, right? When they're gone, whose responsibility is it to tell us? That's the landowner, right?
Well, yes, we have that requirement in the main law that requires that April 1st of every year you should notify the assessors of changes. Normally that's done by virtue of the deed. Otherwise you have to, yes, notify in person or a letter or something. That it didn't happen here.
And you've never seen a copy of that?
No, I did see an email though, because they think it was transferred. I believe the possessory owner sent an email to the Virgilios.
But that email doesn't have any legal standing.
No, not with us, no. I don't know, Diane, did you
Yeah,
want to say anything?
I brought this to Jerry's attention, and I don't have my paperwork in front of me, but I think within that first, or I can't say it right, deed, didn't it say though that Virgilio would be responsible for the taxes? So that really never should have changed?
Doesn't say that here. Oh, maybe it does.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that it said that the grade here it spelled out who's gonna be responsible for that.
I mean, it's very specific that it was called out, it was a very specific possessory deed, I guess, right?
Oh, no, it actually said, I think the grantee
I think the normal
agrees
one.
to pay all real estate taxes, and they were never assessed.
Life estate is the only one I think that we're very familiar with, because once that person passes, then of course we get notified that there's been a deceased owner, and then we change it.
And kind of to compound the lots, they weren't mapped correctly either. I think like one of them on the first side to
I think they have the correct version.
Delano, it was, I think it's mapped as 360 or 380, and that deed
other questions for Jerry? Any clarifications?
Anything come to the board, Jerry?
No, not yet.
I like it.
So what's your pleasure, folks?
Make a motion to approve the abatements as recommended by the assessing agent.
Do I have a
I'll
second?
second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries 3-1. Okay, let's get into the quarterly review. And again, we'll try to do this with some level of flexibility. And again, I think what we really want to do is to just, because we are first, this is the first quarter, I think if everybody can really focus on where they are and what risk or opportunities that there might be, and then we'll move forward. So if we, I don't know, I know we've got these books, there's some books over there, right?
This one isn't updated. I do, in your book, there's an insert for general government.
Okay.
That's the correct one. The other one
Okay,
had a mistake on it.
so the one that we had
But the one
last week
figuring.
is gone.
Yeah.
All right.
This is
All right, so general government, this we really talked to you, Nancy, with regard to that.
First of all, I just want to thank the department heads, as they've all done a really good job in keeping within the 25%. As you said earlier, there is some things that we just can't, insurances are due July 1st. Most of vehicle leases are due in the July-August timeframe. But there is some, expenses we can't keep to 25, but the department heads did a really good job. You want to go?
So, general government, it looks like we're certainly favorable on revenues,
Mhm.
and,
If you notice in the control services, we got $3,523 for recording 271 liens. That is why that is up, and we've also paid $5,500 to the auditor. And the unclassified 1345 is for part of that survey that we did with Steve
Okay,
Levy.
yep.
And last year, I look back, last year we recorded 246 liens.
okay,
And our
How about-
revenues are really good. We collected 16.5% of our taxes, and last year at the same time, and granted, this is through September 30th, we had collected 13%.
how about animal control?
Yeah, that's down.
It's 31%.
But we're going into the registering and licensing season now.
Okay.
That started
And have we paid,
October 15th.
we paid the bill down to,
Yes,
so that would've come out up front?
yes.
Telephone. With the new system, we're supposed to save money on this. Is this, is the telephone just the monthly, or is it this part of the charge of the new system in there?
No, the new system is all taken care of.
Okay, but,
Yes, we do have to adjust that, but we had a few tweaks that we had to adjust.
okay,
We picked out 5 lines to use, and one of the lines wasn't working. David's here, I think one of them was 8166. It wasn't working, so we had to pull that out. Once we get that whole pool ready, which I believe we are right now, then we can call and disconnect the other 10 lines.
so the telephone bill should be going
Mhm.
down a little bit?
Mhm.
Okay.
Any other questions on general government? Leases. Looks like we paid the bulk of them, huh?
Yes, that's because of the vehicles.
Okay. And is the lease on the new excavator in here?
Yes, we made one payment, well, yes, one payment to the bank.
So there's
Oh,
no-
I take that back, no, it wouldn't be in his, this one, it was done in October.
So it's already, but that's factored into the total number that we have here, right? The 133,493
Yes,
budget,
yes.
okay?
The insurances, cost of both of them was due July 1st. And then the personal services includes our, Medi-FICA, workman's comp and unemployment.
And that's all gonna be a bit of a product of, the salaries, right?
Mm-hmm. The town clerk is well within the 25%. We will be seeing expenses coming up in November, so that will, second quarter is gonna show a big expense.
Okay,
Tax collector is well within the 25%. Don't expect any surprises in that one. The treasurer is within 25%. IT department, yeah, it's over, but we also got to consider that almost $11,000 of that went to the TRIO annual license.
so are there any risk of not working to this budget? David's shaking his head over here.
We're always up front on that one.
Okay.
Probably 75% by February.
Okay. Municipal building,
Yeah, we're doing good there, it's 28%, but we're staying in.
so what's driving that?
Well, the municipal building-
This doesn't compute to me. How can we be 21% on supplies, 16% on utilities, and 7% on,
Because that's your overall budget, that top figure.
so some of the line items
Yeah.
on here?
Because included in that too is, the $2,000 for the venting system in the basement for the town hall and the $3,339 for painting at the library.
Okay. Is the library painted?
Yes,
Done?
library's painted, the lines have been painted. Assessor?
Assessor.
He is, he's
We're missing some numbers here.
within 22%.
So there's been no personal cost and no maps done?
No. Maps are done before, done in May, April, May. Code enforcement, is within, and, their,
These
fees are up a
revenues
little bit.
Yeah, well, we lowballed the revenue there the past few years, right, because it's been down, so
Mhm.
one would hope that it's gonna be above.
Library is doing well, they are a little bit behind in their, revenues. Last year it was 19 and then down to 15%,
But
so
it's-
we gotta get after her to start.
She's got a revenue, budget of $3,000.
I know. We tease her about it, though, she's gonna get more aggressive.
She's off by 10%, so.
1/10,000.
Send Guido out there after
Yeah.
the books.
Yeah,
Parks and Recreation.
Big trouble.
Parks and Rec is up, but that is due because of their expenses for the summer programs. Their revenues are down a little bit compared to last year. They're at 27%, last year they was at 32.4.
But you're always backloaded, right, Mike? It's always backloaded to the...
Yeah, we're down once, we're 2 students shy in Funergy, so a little bit of money there, and fall program registration started last week, so we're taking in money.
Yeah, you got
We're actually
basketball.
at 40, I had us at 48,000 year-to-date for revenue, so we're probably at 29-30% of budget now.
So when you said you're 2 off, how many?
We like to have 30 full-timers over there.
So we're
We're at
28.
about 28. I got an ad, I'm running an ad next door just so people see it. We haven't put anything in the paper about it, but we could take 2 more full-timers. Had a bunch of calls, 6 or 7 people inquiring, but nobody's pulled the trigger on it. Oh, it's $150 a week. It'll be 10 weeks in this week, 10 weeks in the school year. And then we're a little short on, well, the fall programs thing. I've got registration next Tuesday night for all our fall programs, the final date. We've got 3 senior trips, one of them tomorrow starting. And, what else?
Quick, move on before we talk some more.
The senior trips are very expensive because you have to have extra security when you come there.
We don't take in a lot of money there. It's more of a feel-good thing, and they enjoy it. I enjoy being with them. It's a nice thing. Luncheons have been great this year. John's been spending time with us. We got 2 luncheons left. Lab will be sponsoring our last one on November 8th, I believe it is. And we got another one a week from Thursday. And we're going to the casino tomorrow up at Oxford for the first time. We got a full bus. And then next week we're going to see a movie over at Cinemagic, have a lunch at a little pizza place in South Portland. And then late November, we're going to see Victoria Mansion over in Portland. We want to see the Winslow Homer exhibit, but that's sold out like 3 days in advance sale. So hopefully we get a chance to do that next year when that'll be open.
Mike, what is entitled or included in unclassified? Can you explain that?
Yeah, it's advertising. It's part of the program expenses for all of our rec stuff. In other words, if we have a trip to Funtown with the summer, it goes under that.
Toilets.
We've got a $37,000 line item under program expense, so it's basically all of our meat, you know? Actually, I think I'm looking at last year's budget. I think we've got, $37,000 we appropriated for it this year. Last year it was $36,100. We adjusted a couple of things. Our program payroll, you set at 104 last year, that was reduced by 10. And the expense was increased by $1,100, it looks like. So anything that is rec-related, whether it be donuts for the seniors, playing cards for the seniors, a trip to Funtown, trip to the movies, a trip to the casino, what else? Everything.
Okay.
All of our supplies for Funergy from Hannaford we put there. There's a couple little things that need to be toyed with on this, but I noticed that we haven't had any gas or diesel expense yet this year, so I think probably that ended up being plugged into program expense. But when I get past this busy month of October, we got Haunted Town Hall coming up this month too. We got a ton of stuff going on in October. It's always our busy month, so I'll sort through item by item when I get a chance. The utility bill looks a little bit off to me. I had Christina help me look at that, pulled all the CMP bills. We're way above where we were at this time last year. I don't know what's causing the increase in electric expense, but it's a few minor items that probably have been coded improperly by me. And the salaries, we were really fortunate this year down at Boat Launch with Doug O'Toole, did a wonderful job for us. It's there every weekend. We didn't have any rainy weekends, so we spent a good portion of that $4,000 to have Doug do that, and I ain't heard only positive stuff about him being down there, so we're pretty excited about that.
Thank you.
Yeah, just so, the electricity, I think everybody will get a little hit. CMP jumped 7+% for distribution
Really?
per kilowatt hour. They try to keep that as quiet as possible,
I'm
but,
trying not to pay my bill at home, so I wouldn't.
anyway.
Is it all those getting on the website?
Huh?
Did you lose the selectmen's back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, planning, what did we do?
Planning board.
Planning board.
Yeah, definitely within it. We do have to send a reminder that the quarterly salary has to be done before the end of the quarter, the last pay period, so we can get them
So this shows no,
in.
no salaries,
Mhm.
right? So the planning department would be, is aware now the
Town plan.
employees and
Right.
everybody in the town plan.
And there is a note in there that, that the unclassified is the $18,362.10, which was the cost for the right PS for the old Efford Road drainage.
Yep.
But the state will reimburse us, so I put it underneath the planning department so that it will kind of
At least
stick out, so
keep
we'll know
track of
where, yeah.
Okay.
Zoning boards of appeal is doing good. Fire department is, there is one journal entry that was done, I think Julie did it today, if not, it will be done tomorrow, under, which one is it? Oh, I lost me. Under the repair and maintenance, there is, an expense out of there that's $22,510.60 that is covered, that was covered by the town's insurance, so there will be a journal entry in that amount to go against that expense account, so it'll be a wash, so that will drop, so there'll only be 27.5 instead of 57.
So, well, we should still show the expenditure, correct?
Right, we will.
But we need to show,
The credit will, it will go in as a credit.
Lisa, no concerns with salaries,
None.
the volunteer pay is coming in on a,
The call pay is at 6.32%. We've only put in July and August because September put in after October. But that's just incidents only. We've got some training and meetings that will be going in there. No concerns.
so no big, no.
What did we decide on the ventilation over there? Are we going ahead with that?
Yes.
Has that been done? Yeah.
And the lease stuff is in the other, in the leases, right? So the revenue piece, this would suggest that we're up from what we budgeted?
A little bit.
Okay. And the per diem, we're not touching.
Definitely no.
Hydrant rental. We're paying these guys quarterly or?
Yes. We paid one.
And are they okay with that, or? And Ross Connor, I think we need to at least,
They don't bring their bills in until like March, April.
well, maybe we need to stimulate them a little bit.
They bring them in as a total to what we owe them, what our portion is. I think that's what they do with Alfred too. They take the bills for the year and,
Well, that's fine if you're spending more money than what the municipalities are funding, but if you're not, how can you say, well, I spent exactly 25%? You know,
yeah, they've always, I mean, forever they've just put submitted it for once a year.
or maybe a nicely worded letter, so that they can at least send us a quarterly statement.
We have a hydrant question on our ballot, I believe, don't we?
Hydrant, yeah, the ballot question will be for the components and the installation charges only of four hydrants at Lake Elm. To be be then maintained by there's no, unlike with the Waterboro Water District where we have to lease, there's an actual PUC requirement that we pay a third of the operating cost for the hydrant usage. There will not be that case for LAC.
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal.
Because they don't sell their water, basically.
Right.
Alright, so, transfer station.
Yep, transfer station is doing well. In fact, did you get the email today on the new assessment starting July 1st of next year?
No.
I'll get you a copy of it, I'll get it put in your mail.
It's gonna drop 24,000 or something of that nature. We took $900,000 out of the local assessment at the meeting on Thursday. The other interesting piece, and I'll give you that information, Clint, when you get a chance to stop by, but recyclables, the market has been way off. But we're down, household waste, we're down, I think 10 or 12%, and we're down 7% on recyclables, so, but the whole, it's continuing to go down, which has Kevin nervous, but anyway. Yes, so the assessment of 150,000 this year will go to 120 some odd thousand.
And under the repair and maintenance, like, he had a expense of almost $1,400 for tires for the skid steer.
Yeah.
Wasn't a tractor, it was a
No, it's
skid steer.
And where do we stand just out of stickers? Revenue is where we expected it, or?
That's where it usually is every year.
Okay, so it's all front loaded, right?
Right. May and June next year will make up the difference there.
Okay. Yeah, the 3 I bought this year will make up the
That's all.
an extra $6. Highway Department, in the absence of the road commissioner, we can throw him under the bus tonight, so.
Can you transfer some money to my account? 'Cause I don't understand how it's possible to be 5%.
Well, he will, that's
You got
the
like
first,
5 votes.
that's it for 3 months, keep an eye, but he's been doing a
Did a
lot more.
phenomenal
And,
job on New Dam Road.
and we'll start paying, snowplow
Oh, yeah, that's right.
November 1st.
So the 94 grand in the URIP, I guess
Yeah.
is how you'd say it, right?
We've-
Has in it the impact for taking over Old Alfred Road, right?
We get 22% of it.
Yeah.
So that kind of tells you that maybe we're not gonna get the whole report.
Yeah, that's what bothers
It is
me.
done.
Look at that, he came just in time.
We just took money out of your budget, so.
Put it in Parks and Rec.
You have problems with the packets.
Well, I don't know what else is new.
I got it.
Oh, I couldn't even get back into the,
Just that one.
I can't even, it times out on me.
Internet's been up and down.
Yeah, I just refreshed everything, so if you try to reload it,
yeah, I just. So Doug, timing is impeccable, as usual, you walked right in as we started to talk about the highway department. So, paving, we must not have gotten any bills yet.
They came in October. As I said, the next quarter, you're gonna see a difference because the big bills came in October.
Okay. So any risk here?
No.
We're all set with,
What page are we on?
uh,
On the right page.
you need to go about, a little over halfway through,
The one that says road department.
right?
Yeah.
Public Works, actually.
It's your expense sheet on the left there.
You wanna help him, Mike?
I'm trying, Diane handed it to me.
I know,
I
but
opened up the highway company.
we're not all on the same page.
Is there something wrong with this book?
No, but I didn't want to give you that book back.
Take that book and I will find it.
There you go.
All right. That's what Diane did too.
While Doug's getting organized, I would think that the electricity down to the transfer station would be quite a bit higher than what Mike is using. Would I be wrong in assuming that? I mean, the electric bill down, the utilities down at the transfer station is less than yours.
Yeah, I can't understand.
Yeah.
I looked through the bills.
$523 at the transfer station.
I don't understand.
Yeah, you should have, I think you've got 3
Hmm.
meters, 3 or 4, 3 meters down there, I think.
Yeah, but is it because the bills haven't come in, or is it because,
No, they come in.
They come in, there's a pile of them thick as a dictionary.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's tough to deal with, I mean, this. I'm trying to go item by item, and I've spent some time.
Let's pull them out and look, cause
I have.
see which meter might be
I have-
higher than usual. Cause I think you have 3 or 4 meters down there,
Talking to me on him.
you.
Okay.
He has a lot of meters.
Yeah, well, he's gotta be much higher than me, I would think, right? Well, you know, men's softball down,
Yeah, that's true.
no, it doesn't,
No?
we're not
Oh, they
paying
don't pay
that
that?
tab.
Yeah,
We're not paying that bill, as far as you know.
maybe you are.
Might be. If I am, it's the first time in 13 years.
Okay, let's get back to Doug.
so without now, I mean, with all the bills coming in late here, that's really the issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it looks
Bills
like
come
he
in.
hasn't spent a whole heck of a lot of money.
I have, but it doesn't show up on this report.
Because the bills didn't come in until October, so.
Well, we didn't pave the new dam road,
Right.
so, you know, we haven't got, the grinding didn't come in. There's a lot of stuff that hasn't come in. This report is really,
Until, it goes until September 30th, so.
yeah, and, you know, the stuff didn't come in and get,
Ooh,
Okay,
that's all I got. Can you get it?
you got any specific questions?
no, I think we're gonna reserve all the discussion with you for after, when we talk about the dam. All right, let's go into general assistance.
General assistance, we're doing well. We are going into the winter months, so we will probably see an increase in that.
So the real question, I guess, will be, because we haven't seen any reimbursements from the state, right? Because it kicks off on a number, right? So we wouldn't see anything.
And we are right on 25% for our education. We have already paid 1.7 million.
And capital.
Capital improvements, we're like 28%. Most of that is in the roads. But this would be the time of year that the roads will be working on.
Okay. Why the cemeteries in capital?
I think it was a reverse, sticking out. Unclassified, we're doing well. Of course, October we paid the county tax, so.
So that'll be 100% paid. right?
Mm-hmm. Memorial Day, we will not pay until, use those until April. Finance Committee still hasn't spent any of their funds. We're gonna keep an eye on that.
Okay, and the sheriff's patrol,
We haven't received the bill yet, so. Old days, this is based on July 1st, so.
Any questions on any of that?
Another little packet, Nancy, nicely done, thank you.
And I do want to say again that the department heads are doing a good job, great job of keeping within their budget. Except when Mike Risty came in to me and told me that Mike had bought a billy goat.
We would've produced milk, we would've got a retard.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions, anybody, on, any of the quarterly review?
The next one is when you're gonna see more, because we'll have the elections, and there'll be more highway expenses, and the county tax will show up.
Okay. All right, let's talk about, Ossipee Dam cost. Where we stand. I understand that we've reached the 5-year winter drawdown of 36 inches, or 37 inches.
We're about a quarter of an inch away from it.
Okay.
There's, for the first time ever probably, there is just a smidgen of water going across the, and we're at the top of the hole that we drilled, bore through the dam. Okay, that is, now the water has reached that level. The top of the hole is about the winter level of the lake.
So, now that we've got a commitment from Tim Clark from Whips that says we're gonna get our new stainless steel gates on or before November 2nd,
Yes.
is there any reason that we wouldn't continue to prep that stuff and be ready for when they get here? I know you said you had to dig down below where the gates are.
Yes.
And I guess based on what we decide to do tonight, which I think everybody's got in your packet here, to have Knowles come in and blast the structure and epoxy it.
How do these figures reconcile with what we put aside for that? How much did we put aside for this job?
Well, it's what I mentioned to Nancy before we started tonight. We raised money for fixing the gates. It wasn't just last town meeting, it was three town meetings.
We've raised 4,000 and 2 years we raised $1,500 each year.
1,500, 15,000?
1,500.
So
I don't
we-
remember if it's 2 or 3 years.
So we
We went
got,
back 4 years.
so we got $7 grand?
Yeah, about
basically.
7 grand.
All right, so the 7 grand won't quite cover the new gates, but they were what, 8,300?
88, I think.
88, okay. So, and we voted some time ago that we would take the rest of this money out of the municipal, what do we call that account?
Contingency.
Contingency account. So, we're really, work has been done there now, which has been what, a couple grand? With the
Yeah,
vote.
I don't think you spent 2,000.
No.
Have you just paid the bill today for the hole in the dam? $750?
I think that was done by, what was the company? Was
I
that the
don't-
one, Christina, we have ready for the W9 funds?
Yeah, so, but one thing you want to remember is that you had an original price of $4,800 to fix the gates, but a price of $12,500 to take them off, fix them, and reattach them. All right? So, somewheres along the line here, even with the new gates and our time putting the hole in the dam, you're still gonna spend less money than the original. I mean, we gotta rent a crane to win to set them back in because we just can't hold them out there. They're, you know, and these will be heavier than, these are stainless steel, they'll be much heavier than the aluminum ones. So we know we gotta rent a crane to go out there to do this. So we're still gonna come in under the $12,500 estimate with the new gates.
The
and-
gates installed.
with the new gates installed, the hole in the dam, plug in the hole and everything, still gonna be less than the estimate of $12,500.
So, without the fence, you're up around 20,000 right now.
Well, that's to include what Knowles
Yeah.
has got in it.
And
So-
you also
Knowles
have
is
in front
almost
of
10
you,
grand.
what's that?
Knowles is almost 10 grand.
And you
But-
also have in front of you an estimate for the fence if you know, whatever you decide to do with that. But if you went up and looked at the structure right now, you would probably get the best opportunity to realize what's taking place. The erosion of the concrete has stopped 6 inches above where the water level is today. That tells you pretty much that this acid rain affects the top 6 to 12 inches of water that we have in the water body. It has to, because once you get down to about 2.5 feet from there down, the dam looks as good as it did the day it was put in. Very straight. Really gotta look at it to see it, but you'll go down so far, and the rocks are all showing, the cream in the concrete's gone, but you go down another 6 inches, and the concrete looks like it was just poured.
So does the whole dam need to be resurfaced?
But it needs to be blasted, as well as the steel does, and then an epoxy coating put on it.
So here's my math, right? I mean, not to jump to a conclusion here, but if we looked at, we've got $8,800 for new stainless steel gates. We got $99.90 for reconditioning the dam with epoxy, having it blasted and everything by Knowles. That's $18,790. You got a couple of thousand already in, right?
I got steel plates to buy, and I got labor.
So that puts it up to about $20,790. If you added the fencing onto this, you know, we're at 24, a little over 24 grand. We've got 7 that we had over a number of town meetings we raised into the kitty. You know, so you're really talking about, 17 grand that we would have to take out of this municipal.
Plus the cost of the crane.
Yeah, well, we got some additional, so I guess if you looked at foregoing the fence of $32.60, at least until, even if you said you put it into next year's town meeting, the fence wouldn't go up until next July, but at least it would be up. You're probably in that same ballpark, so $15,000 or $17,000 we're gonna have to take out of this account, and I think do it. I mean, it just seems crazy that we would wait. The pond's down now as far as we're gonna be on a routine basis for the next 5 years.
No, I don't think we got a choice.
Right, I think we go fix it. So, what are your,
I mean, I agree with everything except the fence. And the fence, I'm still not really sure why. And then, but we have another, if we don't put it in and put it before the people, we get another 7 or 8 months to and the putting in the fence right now, even if I really did agree with the reason, I don't think during the winter months it's going to make any much difference.
about on this end of the table?
Oh, the water level's down, it needs to be repaired, it's gotta be done.
Yep.
It's that simple. We've had residents come in complaining about the lake level. I certainly wouldn't want to be doing this again next year, particularly hearing that some people are having problems with their wells and whatnot. I think do it once, you've got it done, you've got the water down, do the work that needs to be done, and then hopefully we're not gonna have to drop the lake like this again for a very long time.
I would agree too. It's down, let's do the work that we got to do and then it's all done. I mean, if we end up having to go to a special, I mean,
So, we want to make that in the form of a motion and we'll move forward.
I'll move that we go, we've already expended the 880, and then, but to go forward with the reconditioning of the dam and not the fencing.
To finish the job.
Have a second?
Yeah.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Just one thing that you want to remember.
Yeah.
We're at what is supposed to be the winter drawdown level now. You know, it's just that they've never been able to draw it down this low before. But I mean, according to your snow ordinance,
Yeah, and I think we know that we're there, we can get there, right? I think it's the onus is on us to make sure that everybody that's on that lake understands that 5 years from now, the intent is the vote is, on the voter
3 years.
record today,
3
I
years.
thought it was every 5.
It is, but this is an intermediate time.
Oh,
Diane,
okay.
The draw down is 2 feet, it's down 3 feet.
Right, but
This is
but
the
every-
5-year level.
Right, every 5 years, so what I'm saying is 5 years from now, if we go, we're down now, we wait 5 more years to pull it down again. But I think we have sufficient time to make sure that everybody knows that this will be the level that when we go down to the,
I think that would be confusing to do it, I think you should try to do 2015. 'cause
keep
it
on the
was-
schedule, yeah.
Yeah, keep on the schedule, we had it on the 5s.
Okay.
That would just be my personal opinion.
so in 3 years, pull it down. But still gives us sufficient time to alert anybody that's on the lake that this will be that 5-year level. Anything else? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
We'll give him a call. What do you want to call him? I call
I'm
him.
sorry, Roger?
Can you make a public announcement as to when it's gonna be repaired, starting date, completion date? The reason I ask is, I think a lot of people are making and have made plans to repair retaining walls and so forth and so forth. It's just to give these people an idea as to when construction will start, when it will end, because this is a window of opportunity that a lot of people that have spoken to me about it. Matter of fact, I'm pricing out 2 walls now. Don't want to miss out on this window of opportunity, because if we don't get it for another 5 years, the deterioration in their retaining walls will cost them more. Same with,
Well,
repairing the dam.
We're not getting the gates back until on or before November 2nd. So we don't anticipate that, and when the gates go back in, then the level will start to come back up, because we can't lower those gates low enough, right, to,
We should be able to.
okay, when you
That's right,
dig out.
digging it out,
okay,
yeah.
right.
With once we excavate in front of the dam, the intent is that we will be able to
The gate
lower
would
the
be
gates
lower-
down
could
to
be
the
lower.
full depth that they're supposed to go down to.
But you need to plug the hole.
What's that?
You'll need to plug your 2-foot hole.
We need to plug the hole.
That's
That's,
That's the key. It's not a whole
if
lot so much gates.
at the level we're at right now, it would be nice if it went down another 4 inches. Then we'd be on total dry ground and they could epoxy around where the gates are gonna set. But, that's a decision that this board needs to make, whether you want to continue to let it drop or you want to stop it where it is. We can put a partial plug in front of the dam and slow the recession of water.
So I think we ought to look at, what do we need to do to maintain what we've got right now?
We'll cut a piece of plywood and cut the water supply in half that's going out of the dam in front of the 2-foot hole, and when we get ready to
Right.
to plug it up finally, we'll take that out and put a plug in. I mean, that's what's taking all the water now, because,
So if you started to block that and all of a sudden the lake started to shoot up by an inch or a week or whatever, we can always pull that. Because I think what we wanna do is to keep it where it is now until the work is done. I mean, it would be nice to be lower, but I think the fact of the matter is we can work with what we've got now, right? So to Roger's point, I think we can certainly make sure that we put that out on the website and everything else, that it's not gonna be done on November 2nd. It's probably gonna be mid-November before we start to, because once that hole's plugged, you can't keep the lake down 3 feet just with the gates, right? I mean, I
well,
think
right now, we might be able to. We've reduced the lake size.
Well, that's
now.
right,
The one thing that we have here, right now, is we haven't reserved knolls. We didn't schedule this, they haven't been scheduled. And so, this is my concern, that and temperature.
So
As long as
let's,
the temperature stays up above 32 degrees, they can apply this epoxy. Okay? So we're really working against the weather clock here, because we've gotta get them in there and get this done
Before the gates come in.
before the
let's-
temperature goes down too
so
low.
you get the green light to give Knowles a schedule tomorrow, and we'll go from there. And I think until the work is done, all we can do is try to maintain where we're at. If we need to squeeze a little bit of plywood in one of that hole to slow things down, then so be it.
Now, these new gates, Doug, made so that they can be raised with the mechanisms we have. I mean, this isn't gonna take a special operation to raise and lower those gates, right? I mean,
These gates are the same as the ones you had.
okay.
They go down. And, I haven't seen the plans on these, but after talking with the gentleman, I assume they're gonna look, if you didn't know the difference, you'd think they were the same gate, only without the extensions on top. They will have a longer, screw on them so that you can screw them down to the full depth, where the others couldn't go down quite as far.
Will they be remote control?
I imagine they can do it, Diane. Probably hook them up here
Sitting
from
in
the
the living
office.
room?
All right, anything else on the dam?
The water is down enough at the boat launch, so if we may have to go in and clean it, because we're getting, the flow of water is up here, and our planks are down here. We're working against ourselves right now.
What does that mean?
Well, it means that we've kind of moved things over a little bit, and, but
Oh, okay,
We-
okay.
we've got the planks down at the elevation that we were allowed to go to. The brook level is higher than the elevation that we're at, so it's beginning to
Wash.
infiltrate across the top of our planks. Okay? I don't know how else to tell you.
No, that's fine. So
So
the
the
brook,
rock
is
starting to fill up
right, the brook is, the flow through the brook is now causing, when there's 3 foot of more water there won't be a problem, right?
No, there won't be, but all things that are the way they are is causing us a little discomfort.
So now we're talking about the boat launch. How about the signage of the boat launch?
That would probably be me, not Doug. We were gonna-
I don't know, it's on here for new business, so
That was,
That would be,
that would be,
the Parks and Rec Director.
Yeah, we've been replacing all of our signs at all of our parks, Friendship, Mill Pond, and we've got signs for Go Beal certainly as well. But we ran into a couple of construction projects, one being the guardrails along Route 5, which came out very nice. So where the current Go Beal Park entry signs are, we have 2 new signs ready to go down there. And then we'll be at long last replacing the sign that was down by the boat launch, which we haven't had for many years. But I'm reluctant to do that work heading into winter when we're unattended down there, and certainly Doug's been down there doing very important stuff for us, so if you'd like certainly do it, but I think we're better off waiting for spring. We got a situation where we kept adding signs, no rope swing, no fishing and swimming area, no pets. You know, there's 4 signs on 4 different trees down there. We already replaced the do not enter signs, they were faded out and bleached out by the sun. Put them back in the same spot, you probably didn't even notice. And we've got the boat launch, and we've got the Go Bill Park entry signs, which match our Mill Pond signs, and the Friendship Park sign, which you may have seen recently hung up in the box around that we created. Came out very nice, so we're excited about all that. They're all paid for from last year's budget. And we've had some health issues in the department that slowed down our maintenance, but we're back healthy and we'll get everything.
I'm sorry, that answered the
Doug
question.
has something in mind that would help with regard to the boat launch ramps and so forth. I mean, the power loading thing, I don't know if you can get away with it. I don't know if you can stop that when you've got one guy putting his boat back on. I've seen a warden doing it multiple times, you know, and he's
You must have been mistaken.
my bad, it wasn't him, it was somebody that looked like a guy wearing a fishing game suit.
Do we want to address once and for all this curbing at the boat launch?
That's another thing, right? Those Jersey barriers are truly going to be put in down there, and, you know, I'm not crazy about that, but
I don't think that we had arrived at a decision
I know,
on the
I know.
Jersey barriers. I
it's
think
been hanging, and
what
I
he's,
see,
what we're talking about is some curbing that's gonna prevent erosion of the beach, because what was happening, that was discovered when we did the new planking, is that the rains that were down there were, as the water washed down, as the water washed across the road that goes to the boat launch,
yeah,
it was creating like a sandbar on the opposite side where the brook comes down.
yes,
So it was changing the course of the brook. So instead of going out straight into the pond as it should, it was cutting back across.
yeah,
And that's what created that open spot during the ice fishing season. They got it pretty well down.
yeah.
So he wants a curb in there that's gonna stop that erosion effect of the beach. The other issue is the driving on the filtration system,
Right.
and that is being looked at now by the Conservation Committee.
Yes,
And the preliminary ideas that they have don't include Jersey barriers.
Right.
It includes some type of
lodge.
decorative vegetation
Yeah,
that prevents, you know, people from driving on it, but is not necessarily a high barrier that, you
We're
know,
talking
that's
high
not.
bush blueberries.
yeah, I know, I talk to the
Rose.
committee members regularly, they're both around here, they're
Yeah,
great.
early on, we thought about the Jersey barriers, only
Yeah.
because we had some that were not gonna be in use, because the road commissioner had gotten the guardrails back in place, so we had the Jersey barriers that were available. And we thought it was important to preserve that area down there, because that filtration system is very expensive.
It is, but
And,
honestly,
we wanted to make sure that, you know, that would, the integrity of that wasn't impeached, because we certainly don't wanna have to spend another $100,000 some odd dollars to get a new filtration system,
right.
because of our.
The system's been in place for more than 10 or 11 years now, and I don't want to downplay the importance of staying off of that beach. But in speaking to the person that installed it multiple times, it would have to be one of Doug's dump trucks filled with as much rock as he could fit, probably from what my understanding is. Now, that doesn't make it okay to have us driving on it. Even stuff like snowmobiles coming up over the shoreline is my bigger concern. But, and if there were,
I think in viewing that down there, if one were to just roll over it, it would probably not have any significant impact. But what is happening is vehicles will get down there, and they'll start to spin their tires. Now that digs down in, and if it catches that, then that's what's gonna cause the damage.
So,
I think the channel, we had a huge rainstorm a couple of months ago, and it plugged the drains. And it happens a lot, because the leaves wash down off the bank. We like to leave the leaves in the duff layer on the bank, so it doesn't take the soil with it. But what happens is the leaves and the pine needles will plug our drains. So we go down there after these heavy rains, we make sure they're clean all the time. But we had such a heavy rain that day, it did create a channel through the sand. It was deep. Tommy actually came down, and I happened to stumble down there that day too. It was early in the morning, and we talked about that too. So I don't know if general normal rains, although we seem to be having these heavier rains more and more often, is something that's causing the brook to weave itself away like you said it's doing. But it has, several years ago, Fred fixed that as well too. We had a permit, and he took the backhoe down there, and he moved around a sandbar that was created from these heavy rains. So I'm in full support of whatever you guys think is appropriate for that, whether it be a curbing system or some type of low impact vegetation, which we have a handbook on the appropriate type of stuff to put down by the water.
Just wondering if the extra planks that we have there could be used for a curbing system.
I think what you wanted to do was to pave it with a curb, right?
Kind of,
Extend the curbing, it's 3/4 got the curbing on that right side. We talked about it for several years.
So is that? I thought we already moved to do that.
did we already move those?
No, I thought we already voted to put that curbing in.
I thought you talked about it last week.
Earthquake.
No way.
Wow.
Brian?
No way.
What's that?
It sounded like it's either an accident or no way that's an earthquake. Can't be.
That was an earthquake.
Are we off? Oh my God, I wonder if my guy had some kind of an explosive.
It did sound like an explosion.
I'll check next door too.
Seems to think there's an earthquake.
Excuse the delay, folks. I think we had an earthquake here. We're just making sure everything's safe.
Why don't you take it? Say, why don't you take it right off?
Anything on the internet? Pick anything up on the news, Dennis?
Oh, yeah.
Nothing out there.
here?
Yes, we are. I think Dave went to check the basement at the building next door.
So,
I mean, there was
Graduated the school too.
there was two impacts there.
yeah.
Why don't you,
and then
why don't we kick
Are we
off the...
still on?
Yeah.
Are we gonna wrap?